Hey, so key principle number 17 is about trust. And the reason why trust, I think, is the key principle is because it's often misunderstood in the context of our culture and the way that we're taught to parent. And I'll give you an example. And this might be a fairly controversial example. I'm okay with that. I don't know what you think. It would be great to hear from you. So again, if you have any comments on any of the key principles, then comment on the page below. But this example is to do with leaving your child to cry or to self-soothe, so that they can learn how to get themselves to sleep. Um, we've tried that. We tried that with our first child. I think we've tried it once or twice with our second child, but it's never felt right for us. It just hasn't settled with us as parents to our children. And having read Connection, it kind of solidifies my feeling on this because what what actually goes on in a child's brain when they're separated from their parent is that they're filled with anxiety and they're filled with negative hormones or emotions because they're outside of their protector's presence. And to a little child and a toddler, it's really important to feel safe and to feel loved and connected to their parents. So when we leave them and leave them to cry, especially, then we are sabotaging that connection that we have with our child. Um, and to go into a little bit more detail on this, it's, a child's crying because they're communicating with us, right? They don't have the ability to express words, adult words, like adults can. And I think a lot of adults, myself included, often or sometimes don't have the words ourselves to express how we're feeling. So when a child's crying, especially a baby or a young toddler, they are communicating with us. They're expressing their negative feelings and their anxiety to us. And when we leave them to cry, what are we what are we communicating back? We're communicating that we're not reliable to meet our child's needs, that we can't be trusted to meet their needs. Um, Whereas on the other hand, if we respond to that crying and go and soothe them and help them to get to sleep in whatever process that takes, the method is up to us as parents. But the principle is that we need to connect with our children through this process of bedtime and any other process where we're expected in society to let our child self-soothe. We need to connect and show our child that we're trustworthy, that we can be trusted to meet their needs, to keep them safe, and to protect them. I think that's really important. And that's just one example, and I think it's a fairly easy example because it's a bit controversial. But I think that's my justification for myself as a parent as to why I don't leave our children to cry and have up until now let them sleep or got them to sleep in our arms. We're just getting our youngest son to fall asleep in his cot, but we're still there. I still have my hand on him. We're not out of the room. It's all because of this connection and this principle of trust. Our children need to be able to trust us, and we need to show them that they can trust us.